Inside the Cintas Center here in Cincinnati, and we've got a must-see matchup. The students camped out, and Coach Mack brought donuts this morning because the Musketeer supporters are hungry. They want some Wildcat meat. As the #2 team in the nation comes to town, it's the Villanova Wildcats against the 24th ranked Musketeers from Xavier. And a look at the Big East standings, the two top teams in the conference, each on 4-game winning streaks. Villanova, top of the table with a 10-2 record, followed by the Musketeers at 8-3. Hi, everybody. I'm Gus Johnson, along with former Ohio State legend Jimmy Jackson, and welcome to Cincinnati. Jimmy, we've got the two top teams in the nation. Two top teams in the conference, and we have the two top scorers in the conference. This should be a great battle.
It should be, but Villanova's coming in a little short. Daryl Reynolds is not able to play, so they're going to be undermanned, so they're going to watch the minutes. They still want to push the basketball, tough defense they're known for. Look for that. From Xavier's perspective, Gus, they want to be the more physical team. They want to impose their will early, get offensive rebounds. More importantly, if Villanova plays zone, they have to handle it much better than they did in the first game.
All right, here are the starting lineups brought to you by Jeep Grand Cherokee. We talked about the two top scorers in the conference competing today. Trayvon Blewett, #2 at 18.7 per game. Josh Hart, #1 at 19.2 points per game. This should be a terrific battle between these two men. Meanwhile, Jay Wright going for win number 500 today. Doesn't want to talk about it. 22nd year as a head coach, 16th season at Villanova. Meanwhile, Chris Mack, 47 years old, and his team coming off a 72-61 win on Wednesday here against DePaul. Your officials, great group officiating this game this afternoon. Pat Driscoll, Doug Shows, Lamar Simpson. In a series that dates back to 1952, Villanova leads it 23-5. A year ago in this building, #5 Xavier beat #1 Villanova 90-83. And the toss and the tap is controlled by the Musketeers.
Very important that Gooden control tempo early, get his guys involved.
Blewett, step back jumper. He's coming off a 20-point game against DePaul. As we take a look at the PNC Bank players to watch, Josh Hart, Trayvon Blewett.
And two players that get things done a different way. Josh Hart, probably the best two-way player in the country. And how about Blewett, just on a scoring streak right now.
JP McCura, he's their designated long-range shooter. Gooden, the freshman point guard, who took over for Edmund Sumner after he injured his knee. And he's been doing a fantastic job. Baseline, they go up strong, loose ball, Tyreek Jones can't lay it down. And a foul. I'm very impressed with Tyreek Jones, especially the game he had a couple of games ago at Creek.
Well, he's patient inside, and for a freshman, he doesn't force situations. But if you're Xavier, think about it. If Villanova is shorthanded, you want to pound inside to see if you can pick up some early five, dig into that short rotation of Villanova's.
Tyreek Jones, 8 for 8 and a career-high 16 points. Last weekend against Creek. He's from Bloomfield, Connecticut. What a body on this young man.
Oh, man. Built like a linebacker, but has soft hands, very good footwork like we just saw in the previous play. He's going to put a lot of pressure on Chris Jenkins to have to guard him down low. Chris going to find a way to stay out of foul trouble.
Jenkins has been struggling with his jump shot as of late. As a matter of fact, he was struggling so much they had him come off the bench to try to reignite him. Here's Hart, pulled up, almost taken away, picks it up off the deck. 9 to shoot, baseline, Bridges deep, bang.
And you can see Miguel Bridges having a big game because of the emphasis on Josh Hart, but he can play the 4 position, maybe a little bit 5. And he's going to stretch the defense with his jump shooting ability.
Villanova beat Georgetown 75-64 Tuesday at the Pavilion. Bridges with 11 points in that game. How good. You're going to really like him if you haven't seen him. Wise beyond his years as a freshman. Baseline, McCura, pull up, short, snatched down, Jenkins. Jalen Brunson, who is becoming one of the most solid point guards in this conference.
Yeah, cerebral approach, understands when to take over, but more importantly, Gus, when to get guys involved. That's the key for him.
Pull up jump shot, Brunson. Little long, Akira, a very good rebounder for a guard. Blewett, deep jumper, in and out. We talked to Jay right before the game. He said the most important thing for us to do is to do what we do. We are not going to trick them.
Not at all. You don't change who you are. You just play a little bit better, smarter.
Bridges again on the other side.
And that's what I'm talking about. These are open shots. And they're having 3 to 4 playmakers. You're going to spread the court. Now the ability to knock down jump shots is going to open up the driving lanes for Villanova.
And a foul on the baseline away from the ball. And that'll go on Bridges, his first.
And where this Xavier team is really good is when they're able to move the ball side to side, Gus, attack the gaps, get that dribble penetration, force you to help. If the ball caroms off the rim, they can use that sides inside to get offensive rebounds.
Rashid Gaston comes in now for the X-Men. Here's Gooden, nice look. Gaston, extra dribble, jump hook, left hand, good. He's been working on that left hand with Mike McGeese, the assistant coach for Xavier.
You can always get better during the course of the year, and that's a prime example right there of Xavier able to get deep penetration in the lane, good and able to make the play to Gaston inside.
Musketeers on the board now. Pick and roll. Brunson. Baseline. Here's Hart. Contested. Weak side rebound. Gooden. He'll rig it and take it. Gooden cross court. Blewett. Blewett's been playing with a tender ankle. Now he'll drive, dump it down, stolen away.
Too close a little bit right there, Gus.
Brunson turning the corner, cut off by Gooden. Now Jenkins, quick release three.
And those are the kind of shots right there, really not in rhythm.
Akira, back to rhythm.
But see, that's the difference. You see how Akira was able to square up, take the shot. Jenkins off of the screen, kind of still moving. That's why he's been struggling with his jump shot of late.
Quick timeout call by Villanova as J.P. Magura hits the three. And the X-Men take the lead. He's got in the gym range, folks. This young man from Minnesota. 5'3", Musketeer. Hoops is sponsored by the Lincoln Continental Cintas Center here in Cincinnati. Our score, Xavier with a 5-3 lead over the number 2 and national champion Villanova Wildcats. Now let's go to the third member of our team, Shannon Spinach.
Well, Gus, Josh Hart told me this season he has spent some time reading this book by John Wooden. He said it's helped him understand dealing with success, how to be a better leader. Now, I did ask Jay Wright about this today, and he told me he didn't suggest this reading for Hart, but he said last year he brought up Wooden and his championship team a lot with his guys. He said he wanted his guys to know that even those successful teams had their own struggles, but you might be surprised to know that this season Wright hasn't brought up Wooden. He hasn't even brought up repeating. Why? Because he wants this year to be about this year, its own journey, not about last season.
Jay Wright going for his 500th win today, and as a matter of fact, he's got his own book out, Attitude.
I see you got a copy signed.
I had it signed today by the coach.
You know, part of it, Josh, too, the challenge is after you win, how do you deal with expectation? Each and every night you're relied upon to be the man. So it's good to kind of find some kind of alternative message.
Brunson spinning, and they throw it away.
That's right. Now, I think it's important for Villanova. One, they're 1 for 5 from inside the arc, 1 for 5 outside. Figure out ways to get some easy baskets. If you're regulated to shooting jump shots, so you're picking up half court, a full court, little press, Xavier can get out and run off of those long jump shots.
Dante DiVincenzo is checked in now for Villanova. Coach Mack, what a job he's done at Xavier. Every year his guys play hard. They're in the hunt. They win big games. They're physical. and discipline.
Yes, and check out the lineup. Now you have Mikal Bridges really playing the 4-5 with Chris Jenkins down low playing the 5 position guarding Gaston. So all guards have to get those 50-50 rebounds.
Their #1 post player, Darryl Reynolds, remember, for Villanova, not in the lineup because of a rib injury. Meanwhile, Makura curling down the lane, rising majestically, and he banks it in. Xavier taking a 7-3 lead. And to say the Musketeers and their supporters are pumped is an understatement. Bridges. Hard drive with the left hand, stripped out of bounds, and we'll stay right here.
Well, excellent execution on the last play. If you keep your eye on Makura right here, it's going to be able to curl right inside the lane. And when you do that, you get opportunities, even if you miss right there. A nice little backdoor slip screen. Now he gets to the basket. And even if you miss, you still have Gaston inside with the ability to get an offensive rebound.
J.P. Makura coming off a 13-point effort on Wednesday against DePaul. Now DiVincenzo. Handed off to Brunson, who runs the show. Guarded by Gooden. Gooden, very strong athlete. Brunson down the lane on the jump stop, fadeaway jumper, and he's fouled on the wrist by Gooden. This kid Gooden from Campbellsville, Kentucky. He set the freshman bench press record. He did 185 pounds, Jimmy, 20 times.
He like he can play football, maybe a cornerback. But he's grown so much. Now, he's not shooting the ball offensively particularly well. And sometimes when you thrust into this situation, your offense suffers. But as far as running the team, playing great defense, doing the little things on the court that allow this team to continue to win, his offense will slowly start to come around the more comfortable and confident he gets within the system.
Meanwhile, Brunson at the line. Second free throw good. 7-5. Gooden, Makura, Blue, Gaston. Kaiser Gates is in there. Pick and roll, Makura. Now Gates, deep jumper, he can shoot it. Kaiser Gates has a beautiful stroke on his jump shot. You know his dad pretty well.
I know his dad well, and one thing with Kaiser he's been doing, yes, he's been stroking the basketball, Gus, but more importantly, over the last few games, really rebounding at a higher rate, which they need.
Had 10 rebounds against DePaul on Wednesday. Inside Hart, baseline turnaround, Jay, pure. Josh Hart. Preseason Big East Player of the Year. Preseason AP All-American.
He doesn't do a lot of things. He doesn't do one thing great. He does a lot of things like that right there, anticipating the pass.
He'll bring it up. Runs it. Filling the lane on the break. Euro step up and in.
Like you. Back in the day, Gus. The lefty.
I wish.
Come on, tricky inside. But that's just the patience. But Josh Hart, once again, defensively, causing things to happen.
10-9. Gooden, good with his left hand. He can get down the lane, wraps it around to Gaston, easy layup. He's a right-handed player, Jimmy, but he has no problems going left. And he's so strong when he gets inside.
Well, he has a big body, wide shoulders. He forced the defense to help. And again, making the correct play inside to Gaston.
Gaston with 4 points off the bench. 12-9. Hart. In and out. On the hop. Inside. Bridges turns and lays it in. Mikal Bridges has really been scoring the basketball as of late.
Playing extremely well. Came in as a defensive player.
Makura. Gooden again going left off the window, no. Rebounded, Gaston kicks it out. Makura taken away by, guess who? Josh Hart, his second steal. DiVincenzo now. And he stepped on the baseline out of bounds.
Well, when you're an All-American, you're going to get a lot of attention. Josh Hart has 4 guys looking at him, and now Mikal Bridges able to slide in the back, and that's about making plays. And, you know, also we talked about doing the little things here once again, anticipating where Mikal wants to get to, beats him to the spot, causes the turnover.
Blew it. Good, he'll take a 3. Rebounded again on the offensive boards by Gaston. And he's really been digging that ball out. Gooden now to the cup, rejected from behind by Bridges. Mikal died for it. And he'll get a timeout. Both these teams hustling.
Hustling, not giving up. I talked about Mikal Bridges earning his way, being a defensive player. Guess what? Comes up big time with this block. Not this afternoon, Mr. Gooden. Xavier, Nova, Big East.
So Fox is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. A serious turn of events in this game now. Xavier and Villanova, 12-11. X-Men with a 1-point lead. Trayvon Bluiett, second leading scorer in the Big East. He's been playing with a tender ankle.
Right in there, Gus. And playing with a tender ankle, I've been there many a times, and it doesn't take a lot to tweak it right there, just getting tangled up. It may seem like it's not a lot, but when it's already hurt, this is what happens. You know, hopefully he can get in there, get it taped up, and see what happens.
Let's go to Shannon for more.
Well, Trayvon Bluiett is back in the tunnel right now. He's literally about 15 feet off the court on a bench with the athletic trainer, just watching them work on that ankle. Guys, I talked to him yesterday about that injured ankle. It happened at Seton Hall, and we saw him battle through it last weekend at Creighton. He said he was back to 80%, so certainly a setback for Bluiett. And
Jimmy, your NBA career was derailed,
yes,
even though you played, what, 14 years because of ankle injuries.
Yeah, I had a third-degree sprain. I was never the same. They actually told me it would have been better if I'd have broke my ankle, because once you have a sprain, you tear the ligaments, and they don't heal as well. So, and the hard part when you have an injury during the season, Gus, you never really have time for it to fully heal, because you're practicing, then you have to play. So, you know, you end up tweaking it, and that's what we saw right there with Trayvon Bluiett.
So it blew it out. Chris Mack sends out Gooden, Mikal, Kaiser Gates, Gaston, and Bernard. Mikal. Nice bounce pass. Gaston, great catch off the glass. No.
And that's the kind of interior defense you got to have, 3 or 4 guys around the ball, so you don't have the height. And I like the call of going into the zone after that timeout by Jay Wright.
DiVincenzo now running the point. Seven to shoot. Hart. Jenkins shows it and draws a foul.
And Malcolm Bernard that time going for the pump fake. And even that, though Chris Jenkins, Gus, is struggling from shooting jump shots from the perimeter, he's still a threat. And that pump fake opened up that driving lane with Bernard.
What's going on with Jenkins' game?
You know, a lot of it is off balance, taking tough contested shots. Also, too, last year, keep in mind, he posted up a lot more. So he was getting baskets on the block and not just on the perimeter.
DiVincenzo. Brunson back in now. Explodes down the lane on the hop. Bounce pass, DiVincenzo, and a foul. You know, I look at guys like Isaiah Thomas in the NBA. He's a left-handed player like Brunson. And you know he's going to go left. But he still gets to his left.
And some guys you just can't stop. I mean,
DiVincenzo knocks down a jump shot.
And, you know, and he's so tricky, but he can also go right. So it's not like he's just regularly just going left. So you have to honor him and square him up. That's the problem.
Akira, good now in the post. They swing it. Gaston on the box, guarded by Pascal, takes him in the paint deep, and he's stripped by Jenkins. Great defense by Villanova. Fourth turnover for Xavier. 9-2 run right now.
And that's the kind of defense you make up of not having height. As soon as Gaston puts it on the floor, get some bodies around him, make him feel uncomfortable.
Jenkins got it away and banked it in. Plus the foul. Big move. He'll take that one.
I mean, when you're a shooter, sometimes you just figure things out. Did he call glass? I doubt it. But you know what? It's like me and putt. I don't care how it gets there, as long as it goes in and it counts. And that's just a soft one kiss off the glass. But it came off of a really good defensive play. And now squaring up, a little pump fake, feeling the contact.
Chris Jenkins, 9 points against Georgetown on Tuesday. This is the free throw. 17-12. The national champions on the road to start a 3-game road trip here in Cincinnati. Makura deep. Jenkins drives baseline, aggressive, and blocking foul call against Sean O'Mara.
Again, the pump fake, secondary transition, able to get by. O'Mara just there, just a little bit late to cut off the drive. But Xavier can't fall in love with the jump shot. I think when they're really effective, Gus, in particular against the zone, they didn't shoot it well against Villanova in the first game because they settled. They can get in the gaps, get opportunities. That's when they're going to get open three-point shots.
Villanova beat Xavier 79-54 at the Pavilion on January 10th. Josh Hart and Chris Jenkins both scored 20 points apiece. And Nova hit 15 of its first 20 shots in the second half to turn a close game into a rout. Jenkins the inbound. Kaiser Gates leaves the game. He was bleeding. Now Xavier playing a zone. Brunson. And a foul coming up, and that will be against Pascal. And Jay Wright, I tell you, people don't realize he has done a lot this year with this team. Amari Spellman, the All-American freshman, out because of academics. Darrell Reynolds hurt. Phil Booth hurt. Knee injury. Should get a nod for the National Coach of the Year. He won it last year. Gaston calling for it inside. They miss him. 6 to shoot. Gooden takes a 3. Brunson. Jenkins a 3.
Pure. It only takes one, the bank shot. But what you have on that pure jump shot, you have 4 playmakers for Villanova.
And a timeout call by Chris Mack. Xavier has not scored a point since Blewett left the game. He's back on the bench now. 8:16 to go, 20-12.
Fox College Hoops. Due to time constraints, we move ahead to later in the game.
That a backdoor cut has been allowed by the back line of Xavier's defense because they're focusing so much on stopping dribble penetration. You saw the athleticism that time by DiVincenzo.
As you said, Jimmy, freakish athleticism.
Bounce.
Gooden, the teardrop, short. Gaston again. With Darrell Reynolds out of the game, Villanova is going to have trouble inside. They can't keep this man off the boards right now. He has 8 points.
Well, Nova has to do a better job, too, of containing the dribble. They're getting broken down and having the help, and Rasheed Gaston is just carving out space in the lane.
Gaston with 8 points and 5 rebounds.
Understanding who you're playing with is a key here. DiVincenzo knowing that Brunson will find him if he gets open. Exploits the backdoor. That time Gaston had to go the opposite side, and look at the bounce. DiVincenzo makes it look easy. God, I miss being young.
You used to do that, Jim.
I used to. That was a long time ago.
Bridges 3. Gooden with the rebound. And here come the X-Men. Gates, Akira, Gooden, Tyreek Jones back in. They find him on the box. He's tough down here. Pivots. Leans in and knocks it down. Tyreek Jones, a freshman. 4 minutes to play. 26-21. Brunson spinning, leaning, flipping, and banking.
It seems always like when a team makes a run as Brunson, that has something to do with either scoring himself or getting his teammate involved.
Taking control of the game like his old man used to do. Rick Brunson.
Man, that's the maturity that he's grown so much and comfortable of taking over.
Now Akira will shoot it from there. Gets to the bucket. Good square his shoulders, rebounded by Josh Hart. He's got Jenkins on the wing. DiVincenzo 3. Uh-oh. Big Ragu starting to heat up. That could be a problem.
Oh, and he loves the name when we saw him earlier. A smile came across his face when you called him that.
Inside, and Xavier almost threw it away. 2:58 to play in the first half. Serious battle going on in the Big East. The Musketeers facing the national champions and the #2 team in the nation, the Villanova Wildcats, up by 10. Sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. We're in the natty Cincinnati, Ohio, Cintas Center. And coming up on the Jeep Grand Cherokee halftime report, we will send you to Los Angeles as Rob Stone, Steve Lavin, and Nick Baugh get you caught up on the latest scores and highlights that's coming up on the Jeep Grand Cherokee halftime report. Dante DiVincenzo, big start.
Well, getting it done. We talked to Jay right before the game about DiVincenzo's confidence, okay? But it's moments like this, Gus, within the season, within the game, where a guy kind of breaks through. Could this be the moment right now? Because the skill set is there. It's just him playing his role to his best of ability. And think about it. If you're playing with Josh Hart, it's easy for you to get buckets.
As we take a look at our progressive game summary, DiVincenzo with 10 points. He's 3 for 3 from the field, 2 for 2 from the line. He had 15 against Georgetown on Tuesday. Last Saturday versus St. John's, he scored a career-high 20, including 11 in a row at one time. So it's starting to come for this redshirt freshman. Akira guarded by DiVincenzo. Gooden. Gooden's been able to get inside. He just can't finish when he gets to the 10. The runner, that time does.
And that was pretty good defense that time by Pascal. Cut off the lane, but that was good, just creating an opportunity, staying with it and concentrating all the way through the shot.
(31-23). Jenkins, he's hit 2 in a row. Drives, strip, gets it back in the corner. They reverse it. Runs it with a step. Rejected by Tyreek Jones. Shot clock winding down. Pascal 15-footer. Way short. Villanova tracks it down and gets a new shot clock. Jenkins backing his man down, goes up, almost stripped, 3 to shoot. Bridges has to hurry. Well-defended sequence for Xavier.
It was. They stayed true to who they are, kept guys in front, didn't go for pump fakes.
Gooden again to the basket, can't finish. Brunson the other way. Baseline, DiVincenzo. Boy, these officials, Jimmy, just let them go up and down. I love these guys.
Well, I love it because there's not a lot of touch fouls. Guys are playing aggressive defense without fouling, and the officials are rewarding the players for that.
Doug Showers, Pat Driscoll, Lamar Simpson. Blewett drives on that ankle. Inside, pump fake, and he traveled.
Time got a little quick. He wanted to get inside the lane, and I like the explosion right there for Trayvon to be able to get in there. That time just shuffled his puppies a little bit.
Initially sprained that ankle here against Seton Hall a few games back. Played through it, hit the game-winning shot in that game. 50.6 seconds remaining in the first half. Brunson has got the ball on a string. Spinning. Off the glass, got it again.
But you notice how the lane opened up because you have basically 5 shooters on the court. When you stay wide, it's hard now for Xavier to have to dig in and help without giving up a three-point opportunity.
The backcourt for Villanova has accounted for 20 points. And a steal. Jenkins kicks it out. DiVincenzo with Brunson. Here comes DiVincenzo to the hole. No. And a foul.
In transition, this one, Villanova is tough, and DiVincenzo showing a little patience. Never give up on the play. Brunson right there. Gooden gets the little arm underneath with the push. And how about the way that Villanova, championship caliber team, talk about closing out the half, defensively getting stops, but offensively extending this lead to double digits.
So Dante DiVincenzo unable to finish. Brunson there, and he'll shoot the free throws. This kid, he reminds me of that Jay-Z line, Dante DiVincenzo. He walks like a ball player.
That's right. Bounce like a ball player, too. I'm telling you. Just imagine when he gets it. I mean, when he really, like we see Brunson, he gets it now. When DiVincenzo really embraces that, it's going to be exciting, man.
11 points for Jalen Brunson.
Guess it doesn't seem like much, but Xavier been close, not playing well, double-digit lead. Going into halftime mentally is a little bit different than being, 7, 8 points down.
Dylan Painter is checked in because of the injuries. They wanted to redshirt him, but he's going to get more minutes now with Darrell Reynolds hurt. Where's number 42? Good. This time with the right hand, a floater in and out. And that's the end of the first half. Villanova closed the half on a 24-11 run after Blewett injured his ankle. DiVincenzo with 10, but they were led by Jalen Brunson. Let's go to Shannon Spake with Coach Wright.
Coach, you knew that interior depth was going to be tested with Reynolds out, but how concerned are you about the rebound margin, particularly on the offensive glass?
Yeah, they're pounding. They're pounding us. We got to do a better job. We're lucky they've gotten them and we haven't fouled, but we just got to get tougher. We got to go get rebounds.
What about the test that your defense has shown them? What do you think about that?
I like how we're playing defensively. I really do. We got to find a way to finish those defensive possessions with the rebounds.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Thanks.
Gus?
All right, thank you very much, Shannon. That's the end of the first half with the score. Villanova, the national champions, with a 35-23 lead against Xavier. We'll send you to Rob Stone, Steve Lavin, and Nick Baugh in LA for the Jeep Grand Cherokee halftime report right after this. (35-23), Villanova leads Xavier as we start the second half. Gus Johnson along with Jim Jackson and Jimmy. Trayvon Blewett going out in that first half. It kind of took away a little bit of the steam from the Musketeers.
Well, it took some momentum, so it's time for our Lexus playbook. And this was huge because at that time, Xavier was back and forth hanging with Villanova. But once Trayvon Blewett went inside, as you see tangled up, he having a sore injury, a sore ankle, it doesn't take much for you to tweak it. And right here, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of contact, but just turning it over totally changed the momentum. And also in the first half, maybe you think about this, the top 2 scores in the conference combined for 2 points for Jalen Brunson. The maturation process just continues. It amazes me as how much he's grown from the beginning of the season. And talk about maturation, how about DiVincenzo showing that freakish athletic ability, but also the ability to knock down a deep 3-point shot.
All right, let's take a look at the Jeep Grand Cherokee first half stats. Villanova shooting 50% from the field. 5 of 14. Different story for Xavier at 37%. Let's go to Shannon Spake.
Well, Gus, Jimmy, it is amazing what adrenaline can do because Trayvon Blewett, he's in a whole lot of pain. I watched him walk out of that locker room through the tunnel. He could barely put any pressure on that right ankle. I asked Chris Mack about him, how much he'd be able to get out of him in the second half, and he just kind of shrugged and said, I have no idea.
All right, Shannon, thank you very much. So Villanova with the basketball to start the second half. Brunson, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. In the first half, inside, Pascal tight ropes the baseline. Brunson. Pascal baseline jumper this time, and it's good.
Patience coming out of the timeout. And I know at half, Jay Wright was talking about the offensive rebounds concern. They gave up 9, but more importantly, Gus, they only gave up 4 second chance points.
Now some pressure by Villanova inside. Tyreek Jones can't hold on. That one blocked. Either Pascal or Bridges got a hand on it. I'm not sure. I think it was Bridges.
You know, the advantage of playing with a smaller lineup, Gus, is that you have more quickness on the floor. So it just seems like Villanova has 6 guys surrounding the basketball at times because they're so active with their hands. They're taking away some opportunities that look like scores for Xavier.
And Gaston will quickly come into the game in the second half, less than a minute into the half for Tyreek Jones. Macura, he's got to get his offense going. Inside Gaston, and another layup.
And that left hand came into effect that time. Macura was patient on the trap in the corner. Gaston able to seek out an opening to get an easy basket.
Ten points for Rashid Gaston. The backdoor lob, and Pascal is there for the finish.
Well, look who was on the back line. It was Trayvon Blewett. So his ability to react, turn, and explode to take that away was affected by the soreness of that ankle.
Macura down the lane. And he is clobbered. Good foul. As Macura showing his durability.
Well, the backside got quiet against the zone. If you don't communicate, if you're ball watching like that time Trayvon Blewett was doing, you're going to give up those opportunities. You have to do a better job if you're Trayvon on that back line of pointing out where guys are at.
When you look at lob passes, when you look at college basketball, the 2 greatest college basketball lob passes, Magic Johnson, and who's the other guy?
Sherman Douglas.
Sherman Douglas.
Come on. You already know I know that one. Oh, my. You look forward to Syracuse playing where there was Stevie Thompson.
Stevie Thompson, exactly.
That's right. It was Billy Owens. It was Derek Coleman. They weren't too bad. Sherman wasn't too bad in the NBA either with that. Okay. In Miami.
Baseline. Brunson. Now Jenkins wide open. That's what you want for Big Smooth.
Because Villanova was able to advance the ball deep in the corner, that flattened out the Villanova defense, and now dribble penetration opened up that jump shot for Chris Jenkins.
Jenkins with 9 points, all 3s. And that one knocked out of bounds. Xavier will hold on.
Well, this is how you break a press. You bring the ball down, you dribble penetrate, get inside, suck into defense, and then guess what? Circle back around if you're Chris Jenkins and make a play. But earlier, it was the flatness of the Xavier defense that opened that play up. Excellent job of breaking the press by Villanova.
Brunson going for the steal, can't hold on. And fundamentally, when you look at Villanova, they're so sound. They'll jump stop in the lane. They'll ball fake you to death.
Not pretty. You know, they're not going to be on the highlight reels every week as far as making these highlight plays. But what they are going to do you're going to see the little fundamental things and the W's continue to rack up because of that.
Makura on the baseline, beats Gaston again, and he gets it in the foul. Gaston having a terrific ball game. 12 points now.
Well, that time, DiVincenzo a little bit too anxious, overplays this play right there, and that gives Makura a driving lane. Now, Josh Hart was in proper position, but not being able to get right in front of Gaston here because Pascal was a little late, allowed that play and an opportunity for a three-point play.
Pascal, meanwhile, picks up his third foul. And the free throw good for Rasheed Gaston. 12-point lead.
An important stop right here for Xavier. You want to get this lead to 10 or under.
Here's Brunson. Gaston now on a switch with Brunson. DiVincenzo, 7 to shoot. He'll take a three.
Is this it? Is this it, Gus? Do we see it right now? I mean, and he got rewarded, DiVincenzo, by starting the second half by Jay Wright.
13 points for the big Ragu. Makura. Back door, knocked away, picked up by Hart. Hart in transition, leaves it. Big smooth. In and out. Makura answers. JP Makura with 12. 45 to 33, but can Xavier get stops?
That's the key. You got to get consecutive multiple stops in order to eat into this 12-point lead by Villanova.
Hart calling for it on the post. Bumping and grinding. Baseline turn. Rebounded by Kaiser Gates. Makura, baseline, Bernard open, and hits. Here come the X-Men. First basket of the game for Malcolm Bernard. They're smiling now, they're feeling good. 45-36, lead down to 9. The national champions in Cincinnati today. Hart spinning inside and gets the bounce.
The beautiful thing about that play and about Josh Hart is that even though he struggled with his offense in the first half, he doesn't force opportunity. He knows that he's going to get multiple touches, and when he does like that situation, he's able to take advantage of it.
Hart 0 for 7 in the second half in their last game. Inside, Gaston again with great position, and he just muscled it up and in. They're looking for him. He has 15. 47 to 38. Hart again on the spin. Stripped by Bernard. Numbers. Bernard. Gates. Gaston. Euro. Off the glass and in again.
Lefty.
That left hand is working. Credit Mike Pegues, the assistant coach for Xavier. Spending a lot of time with this kid. 7-point lead. For second-ranked Villanova, Gaston with 17. Now Brunson the other way. And tip jam down by Pascal. The Fordham transfer has 6. Playing with 3 fouls. Makura throws it up and draws contact. And that is the 4th foul on Pascal. He'll have to sit. 14 minutes to play in the second half. Villanova with a 9-point lead.
Well, inside Gaston. I was talking to his mom and aunt before the game. He said, come on, you got to get in there, do better, do what you do. And we talked about the left hand. Gaston said, I'm giving it to you any way I can. Xavier getting back in the game.
Selection. Will you get it right?
Okay, Jimmy, time for our mock selection. If you have one spot left of these three teams, who would you pick?
Well, our great producer here has changed this from top 50 to top 100. He's trying to get me, Gus. He got tired of me really doing it. So I'm going to pick, let's do right here.
You're going to take TCU over Michigan State.
Well, I didn't know it was Michigan State. I didn't get it wrong. You don't get it wrong. You don't get it wrong. Michigan State has some bad losses.
Syracuse with a big victory over Virginia.
They both have bad losses. So
Syracuse did lose the bit
Michigan State had some bad losses. So TCU is not looking bad.
Jamie Dixon down at TCU now, leaving Pitt to go to his alma mater, rather. Now J.P. Bakura at the free throw line. He's shooting 2. 12.6 assists. And Bakura gets the first one to go, had 13 against DePaul on Wednesday. And he's the team's new backup point guard. 6 assists, 5 turnovers against DePaul as well.
It's never easy being in that position, Gus. You have to make plays when you're not comfortable doing it.
49-42, Villanova. Jay Wright pacing the sideline. Bridges. Cross court, Brunson. Spinning, gets to the cup, leans in, no call. He got decked. Play on. Gooden in transition. Straight to the cup, off the glass, and it won't stay down for him. He's 1 for 10. Josh Hart for 3. Big shot.
I mean, you have an opportunity. It's tough for Gooden because he made the right play, but when you're struggling offensively, those little layups don't go in. And again, Villanova able to capitalize in transition off of a missed shot.
Josh Hart now with 7.
Well, you just trail. This time squares up, leaves the hands up, follows through, splash for 3.
It's just been so much fun to watch this kid. He's a senior now, and we've been watching him since his freshman year and how he has just grown in every way imaginable during his collegiate career.
Well, give the coaching staff credit for this. We always talk about the development of a young man's game, but how about the maturity level in which they develop here at Villanova as young men? That corresponds with why they play at such a high level individually.
He's got great assistants, Jay Wright, Baker Dunleavy, Ashley Howard, Kyle Neptune, working with these young men every day. Brunson penetrates. Hart off the bounce. DiVincenzo tries to keep it alive. Loose ball. Who wants it? Who needs it? Bakura fighting for it. And the arrow goes to Xavier. Now Chris Jenkins will come back in.
And that's one of the areas that, talking to the coaching staff at Xavier, those 50-50 balls. I know they got the jump ball possession that way, but you want to be able to get those loose balls and not allow Villanova to take advantage of it while they're on the road.
Remember, Xavier's playing without one of their best players, Edmund Sumner, who injured his knee against St. John's, out for the remainder of the season. Trayvon Blewett with the tender ankle. And Miles Davis, a senior, leaving the team. Bernard, a 3. Rebounded, Gaston, and he's fouled.
Big time day for Rashid Gads, who talked about getting better within the season, confidence inside, cleaning up the mess. This time again, another lefty off the glass, and sometimes when you have an advantage size-wise, you continue to feed the beast right here, and that's what they're doing.
Gaston reminds me of a guy, you go to the park in the summer, and you know if you lose, you're not going to get back on.
Yeah.
So you see him, you want to play on his team.
You better believe it.
And it's easy. He's going to go to the box, you're going to give it to him, and then fall back on defense.
And you got to reward him, because if you reward him, he's going to set screens, he's going to rebound the ball, he's not going to complain. You know, and he's doing his job. He's keeping himself in front of the rim, and he's finishing inside.
Good thing about the park is you don't have to shoot free throws.
Well, that's true, too. Yeah, and you don't foul out at the park either.
No, you don't. 52-42. Jenkins, the kick. Brunson, a three. And Gaston with another board. His 8th. Having maybe his best game of the season. But Gooden's got him hit some shots when he gets to the... Whoa! Tried to flush it there. Bernard the other way. Gates, a three. No timely baskets for Xavier.
Getting good shots, getting opportunities, not able to do it.
Top 2 teams in the Big East going toe-to-toe. 11:44 to go. The national champions with a 10-point lead. Big East College Hoops on Fox is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Cintas Center here in Cincinnati, Ohio, 52-42. The second-ranked team in the nation, the Villanova Wildcats, leading the hometown Xavier Musketeers. Tomorrow, the fastest sport in the world is back at the Auto Club Raceway in Pomona, California, for the Circle K NHRA Winter Nationals. Coverage begins at 4 p.m. Eastern on Fox, or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Let's go inside the huddle with Chris Mack.
You know, we cannot have the ball screen happen. It's like we got 2 guys on the ball handler and nobody on the popper. You got to be able to communicate that loud. Loud. Even if it's last second, as long as you're loud. So we got to be able to guard the ball.
And Jimmy, I have a question for you. A lot of times you hear teams that struggle defensively, they'll say, we're not communicating on defense. What does that mean? And are you literally, can you hear? It's 10,000 people in here screaming. Can you hear the communication going on between the players when they're on the court?
Well, you can, and part of it, too, when you're talking about the screen and roll, whoever's setting the screen, that defensive guy has to talk early, often, and loud.
And what is he saying?
He's telling him which direction the screen is coming from. If you're going to switch, switch. If you're going over the top, get over. I'm help, recover. Those are the little things that it takes to be a really good defensive team, especially when you're in a loud, hostile environment like we are right now at Cintas.
Jenkins. 9th rebound for Gaston. But this kid here, 1 for 10, Gooden. He's got some great looks at the basket, unable to convert. Hart diving.
You need flinch. I mean, so you so experienced at this that Josh Hart comes at us. It's a cup of water sitting right here. He hits it, and you didn't move.
Josh Hart.
Are you that cool, man? I mean,
some say I am.
Well, okay, I'm just saying. I mean, you didn't flinch. You didn't move whatsoever. I'm thinking that the water's gonna splash and get over here. You just like
Jimmy.
man.
I'm about to be 50 in August. It's not my first rodeo. Not my first picnic, partner.
I got you, man. Listen, man. I learned when I was young. Just pay attention to the old heads. Just learn.
There you go. Here's Gooden. He's a youngster. Gates. Gooden, a 3. Still can't get one to fall for him.
Yeah, that's tough to at the end of the shot clock. He's forced to kind of put up that you really don't have the rhythm. And that time, Xavier taking the ball out of bounds didn't really react that they had a short shot clock.
Gooden is 1 for 12. 52-42. Mikal Bridges. Gooden with a rebound and foul. And that is the 15th foul against Nova.
Yeah, that was a quick shot that time. The bench, the coaching staff, I saw Baker Dunleavy look at Mikal Bridges like, what are you doing? That's too early in the shot clock. Get the ball moving.
DiVincenzo picks up his first. Jay Wright going for his 500th win today. 500 wins, 22 seasons as a head coach. 16 at Nova. He's got a national title.
And I still believe that nationally he's underappreciated for the type of coach that he is. Even winning a national championship, they fail to mention him in the same breath as some other coaches.
Gaston on the box, waiting for the double, doesn't come. Gooden kicks it, Macura down the lane, double clutch, lobs it for Gaston. Great play by J.P. Macura. And Gaston has 19. J.P. Macura, high basketball IQ, 52-44. Xavier refusing to quit. But can they stop this man? Herky-jerky style to the cup. Counted and the foul for Jalen Brunson. I'll tell you what, when you watch Jalen Brunson, you see his dad so much Rick Brunson. Same game.
But here's the thing. The pick comes up. He goes away from the pick, knowing that he's going to get an isolation on Kaiser Gates. The move is not fast. It's not quick. But it's assertive, okay? And then he's able to get by you with his shoulders on that left foot and explode to the basket.
Brunson listed at 6'3", 14.6 assists. And he gets the free throw. Kid does all the little things extremely well.
Again, Xavier makes a little run, and guess who is there to thwart it a little bit, take the momentum away. It's Jalen Brunson.
When you talk about high basketball IQs, put Jalen Brunson in the Mensa category.
Yeah.
He's brilliant.
That's from being around the game when he was young at a high level.
Because of his mother.
Yeah, it definitely was because of his father.
Baseline, Gaston tries to feed it. DiVincenzo just takes it away. 9 turnovers for the Musketeers. Now Jay Wright slows it down. 9:18 to go. DiVincenzo. Runs it again. Pull-up jumper. Pascal with a rebound. Jenkins. Pump fake and a foul.
When you're small, you got to figure out ways to disrupt the offense. And right now you see 1, 2, 3, 4 guys around. Once they get inside, they're going to swarm and take away the middle inside. So you don't have the height. You're smaller, but now you're able to play quicker and react to the basketball.
Josh Hart back in. Water on the floor. What comes over.
I was talking to Ashley Howard of Villanova and saying that this particular college season, because there's not a dominant team, the injuries, yes, they hurt Villanova, but and when you got guys like Jenkins and Hart, DiVincenzo and Brunson, you're still in the mix for winning a national championship,
and
even
they're only
with the
playing,
injuries.
and Jimmy, they're only playing Villanova only seven guys.
I know, but the national landscape is not where you got a dominant team, and these guys just play, man.
Today, really only 6 for Villanova. Macura. Tyreek Jones with a rebound. Finds Macura inside. Can't lay it in. Jones snatches it down. He can't lay it in. Pops out. Gates. Baseline. Macura fires a 3. Pure. J.P. Macura with 17. 58-47.
Gus, you said this, though, but Xavier has to get stops. You're trading basket for basket. You're at home. Nova's always going to keep that advantage. You got to figure out the way to get multiple stops and then score.
Pascal's played well today. DiVincenzo backs it up, guarded by Macura. He can take him. Bridges, and he traps. And there's a stop for the Musketeers.
It is, and Mikal Bridges should have shot it.
Xavier and Villanova, 58-47. J.P. Macura trying to keep his guys in it. Back after this. Fox College Hoops is sponsored by Wendy's Asiago Ranch Chicken Club And by Heineken, open your world. 58-47, Villanova leading Xavier. Under 8 minutes to play in the second half. And let's take a look at the PNC Bank players to watch. Brunson and Gaston.
15 points in, and Brunson, of course, Gaston doing a great job. Need one more player to step up for Xavier.
Let's go inside the huddle with GQJ.
Listen. Once that ball starts, once the initial tag or the initial war, now it's up on the guy. Nobody's taking the responsibility to go pursue the ball. Nobody. You're just hoping somebody else goes and gets it. Like, guys, again, but down here, we got all the energy to make plays. But down there, when the ball's up on the glass, nobody's going after it.
Right now, Xavier out rebounding Villanova 32-18, and I think that's what Coach Wright is talking about.
Well, he is, but I love the message, but I love more importantly the demeanor of the message.
The delivery.
The delivery, because he's not yelling, he's not screaming, he's very matter of fact, and that, I think, calms the nerves, especially on the road, of your players.
And Jay Wright is a cool customer. Inside, Gooden turns it over, lead pass, DiVincenzo to Brunson, off the glass, no. Painter there for the follow. Now DiVincenzo, the kick. And a foul coming up.
And Gus, that's the prime reason why coaches say don't assume that your teammate is going to make the layup. That time Painter hustled down, was able to keep the play alive, and now you see DiVincenzo get inside, and Malcolm Bernard not being set and kind of reaching and lunging, wasn't in position to draw that charge.
Bernard picks up his third foul. We were talking about Jay Wright. And you like the delivery of the message. He wasn't yelling and screaming, but I tell you what, they say Jay Wright will get on these guys with the quickness.
Well, you better believe it. Now, he may come across smooth and cool, but I've been in practice when he's dating the business a little bit. But you need to do that, though.
Brunson. And he throws it away. Makura with a steal. Makura to the basket. Changed his shot in midair. Bernard fights for it. Tries to lay it in, no. And saved from going out of bounds. And the foul coming up. Brunson picks up his second.
And the struggle has been real a little bit for Xavier in transition, where they've had opportunities to score, get their defense set, but not able to capitalize when they've had numbers in transition.
So Painter will replace Brunson. Trayvon Blue at that ankle. He just couldn't play on it. He is doubtful to return for Xavier. Their leading scorer, second leading scorer in the conference. Other guys have to step up. Who wants the ball now? Makura takes a shot. Air ball. DiVincenzo moves over to the point guard position with Brunson on the bench. Crosses over. Bounce pass inside to Painter. Knocked away. And a turnover for Villanova. Makura. Step back, Jay. Out of bounds and save your ball.
Jay Wright toying with the fact that he's trying to get maybe Jalen to come back in. Excellent hustle this time by Tyreek Jones and also Josh Hart. This time bouncing off of Hart. And here comes Jalen Brunson after a short rest.
And he replaces DiVincenzo. Right now, Jay Wright giving him an earful.
But think about right now, too, to save energy, plus fouls, you switch out to a zone defense. Very important to rebound out of it.
Gaston again, inside. No call. Taken away, Jenkins.
And once again, the swarming defense underneath Gaston hesitating a little bit. That allows the defense from the backside of Jenkins to get a piece of it.
takes a three. Villanova out of sync offensively now. Can Xavier make him pay? Bernard. Gates, can he hold on? Arrow favors Villanova, but a timeout called by the X-Men. With 5:34 to go, 58-47. Back to Cincinnati right after this. Hoops on Fox, sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. 58-47, national champions leading Xavier. And Jay Wright, he's had so many signature moments. His first win at Hofstra against Cornell in '94, 100th career win against Stony Brook in 2000. His first win at Nova against Grambling in 2001. His 200th career win, Lehigh, 05, 300th. Pitt in the NCAA tournament, his 400th, Seton Hall in 2014. And now he is 5 minutes and 34 seconds away from his 500th win. He's 55 years old, Jay Wright. .500 wins. That's a heck of an accomplishment.
That is.
Bob Huggins had 800 wins. Recorded his 800th win earlier during the season at West Virginia. A couple years ago, we had Coach K and win number 1,000 at the Garden against St. John's.
I don't think people understand the stress of being a college coach. Especially at a place like Nova, where you're kind of like the CEO. All that comes with it.
Akira, the inbounder. Now Gooden, he struggled today. 1 for 12. But he's confident, not afraid. Akira. Akira for three. And he pushed that one.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to figure out ways with Gooden to get him involved in some pick and rolls, to be able to break down the defense, get inside, either make a shot or make some plays in order for him to kind of break out of this shooting and scoring slump.
Brunson, he's made all kinds of plays today. Down the lane, another play he makes right there.
But that time, Makura commits the cardinal sins. You reach, I teach. He reached on Jalen Brunson, and he made him pay for it right down the lane.
60-47, 17 for Brunson. Now Gooden to the basket, tried to jam it again and missed. Remember, folks, he's a freshman.
And that's the second time he's tried to do it. That time I thought he could have created the contact and laid it up over Mikal Bridges instead of trying to dunk it.
Hart inside. Drop step off the glass. Short. And here comes Malcolm Bernard. Slithering to the hole. And a foul. Jalen Brunson, though, he's got to in the park.
Well, he does, and I told you, you reach, I teach, but how about this? Jalen McCurry gives up the drive, but at some point, your teammates have to come over from the backside and not ball watch and give you the support if you get beat. So, yes, it was JP, but also poor team defense by Xavier.
So now Bernard at the line. He's shooting 1 and 1. 17 fouls against Villanova. Brunson. Make that Bernard getting the front end. Trayvon Blewett at ankle. He's too tender. He tried here in the second half, but couldn't get it done.
It's going to be important, too, going down the stretch of the season, how they really monitor that ankle in regards to him practicing, playing, treatment. I mean, because, like I said, the only remedy for it is rest. But when and how do you rest him right in the heart of the season?
Runs it again. Shaking his man up. Gets to the hole. Has it knocked out of his hands. It's the deck. And the arrow favors Villanova. 3:48 to play. 60-48. Jay Wright. Close to 500. It's a battle in the Pac-12 as Oregon State travels to Los Angeles to take on freshman sensation Alonzo Ball. and 10th ranked UCLA. That's tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern on FS1. 60-48, Nova leading Xavier. Let's go inside the huddle with Chris Mack.
Here's what we got to try to do. All right, it's going to stop right here with 5 seconds on the clock. Let's make sure we come back down, try and get the ball into Sheep. Can't guard him. Everything we do has got to be out of aggressiveness, getting to the lane, pivoting, shot faking. Anytime we get fouled, we're going to the free throw line, stops the clock. We're able to set up our defense.
And 3 things real simple. 1, get a stop. Second, Sheed has been killing inside. Make sure we get him the ball. Third, let's get to the free throw line. Let's get some stops. We score, now we can set our defense. Now we have an opportunity to create turnovers and get ourselves back in this game.
Rasheed Gaston, 19 points, 10 rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds. And for Xavier, they have 21 offensive rebounds today. 10 second chance points.
Yeah. Hey, keep in mind, Villanova is excellent at executing underneath out of bounds and getting the kind of high quality shot.
Hart, 4 to shoot, pulls up. And Makura will clear it.
Xavier accomplished one thing. They got the stop they needed. Let's see if they can get the ball deep inside to Rasheed Gaston.
Bernard down the lane, finds Gaston. And he misses the jam, but foul. So with 3:28 to go, as we take a look at the Big East standings, St. John's with a win today. Creighton with a win today. Georgetown with a win today. Crazy conference as we head down the stretch to Madison Square Garden.
How about St. John's? Teetering with 500.
I love the way Coach Mullen is managing that team this year. They're young, but you know they're going to be good.
Well, I'm telling you what a difference it makes when you have 2 high-quality guards that can go get it and give you buckets. You know, Bashir Ahmed, also that third wheel, so to speak, giving you athleticism on the wing, so that's why they're able to compete.
Both free throws good for Gaston. That'll set up the defense for Xavier, full court. Hard to turn Villanova over, though. Great ball handlers. Well prepared. Bridges.
Classic demonstration of how you break the full court press.
Josh Hart guarded by Gates. Here comes the screen. Hart explodes down the lane. The kick. DiVincenzo, 15-footer, pure.
But how does Hart get that deep in the lane without being stopped? And that sucked in the defense, and that gave DiVincenzo another opportunity to clean look after the pump fake.
Dante DiVincenzo with 15. 62 to 50. Bernard and double dribble. Wow.
Guys, coaches say this all the time. Don't go for the pump fake against Villanova. Don't go for the pump. Because you knocked in some shots, you get antsy a little bit and you don't stay disciplined. The dribble penetration breaks you down to DiVincenzo. Smartly, one dribble, pull up.
Jenkins on the baseline. 2:30 to go. Villanova in no hurry. Brunson. Guarded by Makura. Hart. Again to the basket. Easy layup.
I mean, tape don't lie. When they break down this tape, they're going to see the backline defense of not supporting guards up front on the dribble penetration.
9 points for Josh Hart. Makura trying to create. Kicks it out. Gates a 3. Gang rebound to Gates. Again, gonna lay it in. Timeout, Xavier. 64-52. Final 152 coming up. Supports is proud to team up with Positive Coaching Alliance and its mission to develop better athletes, better people, by working to provide all youth and high school athletes a positive character-building sports experience. Visit foxsportssupports.com to learn more. 1:52 to play in the second half. National champs with a 64-52 lead over Xavier. As we take a look at the game reset, Villanova with 3 timeouts. Xavier out of timeouts. And the arrow favoring the Wildcats. Jay Wright, a minute and 52 seconds away from his 500th career win. Dante DiVincenzo has had a fine day. 15 points for the redshirt freshman. He's growing in front of our eyes. And Jalen Brunson has been the consummate point guard for this team.
And Villanova is one of those teams, Gus, that when you get behind, it's tough to get back because they rarely beat themselves and allow you back in the game.
Jenkins, the inbounder, fires at the length of the floor to Josh Hart. Hart to the basket and up and in. What a pass by Jenkins.
Now who calls up a play like that, full court, out of the timeout on the press? You talking about element of surprise, that's what it was. But again, not communicating on the backside by Xavier.
Bernard takes a 3. 66-55. Bernard with 7 today. Chris Mack.
If he could put on the uniform, he would.
Yes, he would. Right now, Pat Driscoll has a couple of firm words for Coach Mack. Look at him. He got out on the floor. Did his best David Beckham impersonation.
That was pretty good, too.
Not bad.
That was pretty good. He could easily slip right there.
Hard across court. Bridges. An easy layup.
I mean, the body language of Xavier down the stretch is that they're defeated. And you've seen it on the last 2 plays.
Bernard again. Hands it off. Gooden. Still can't get one to fall. 1 for 13. DiVincenzo. And he's fouled. So let's take a look at the next 5 games for the national champion Villanova Wildcats. Ranked 2nd in the nation. They're at DePaul on Monday. At Seton Hall next week. And Butler, Creighton, Georgetown.
Road games are always a different challenge, even at DePaul and Seton Hall mentally, but Butler, Creighton at home. We have that finish-up game at Georgetown.
Bridges racing. Bridges down the lane. And he lays it in on the foul.
Guys, I'm going to say this. You can lose games. That's part of what sports is all about. But when you give up, that's hard to swallow from a coaching staff. And that's what we're seeing the last minute and a half of Xavier with their defensive effort or lack thereof. And I will guarantee you that Coach Mack will let them know that that's not the way we do it here at Xavier.
And Bridges adds the free throw. Largest lead of the game now for Villanova. 58 seconds to go. You have to take into consideration a lot has happened to this team. They're playing without their 2 best players. Sumner out for the season with the knee injury. And now Trayvon Blewett with the ankle injury. He was barely able to go today. And the next 5 games for Coach Mack at PC on Wednesday. At Marquette, at Seton Hall. So the 3-game road trip starts.
Well, it doesn't get easier. I mean, look at those 3 games on the road. You know, this is when a team has to really come together, I believe, especially when you're playing on the road. Gives you a chance to bond a little bit more, spend time communicating with each other.
DiVincenzo. Talk about a kid that's starting to break through now. Dante DiVincenzo with 16. He had 15 against Georgetown. He had 20 against St. John's last Saturday. Both free throws good.
I think you mentioned this before about DiVincenzo, like in players here at Nova, how the lineage, they kind of come in and learn, and all of a sudden they explode and break out. And we're seeing that with Dante.
Bernard finds Gates. 17 to shoot, 30 seconds remaining in this game. Baseline, Gaston has been excellent today, and he remains excellent. 23 points for Rashid Gaston. 25 seconds left. Xavier picking up full court. Hart, and Xavier backs off as Hart walks it over the midcourt line. Villanova will improve their record to 24-2. 7-2 on the road, 11-2 in conference play. Xavier 18-7 now. They're 12-2 at home, 8-4 in the Big East Conference. Our final score from Cincinnati, 73-57. Jay Wright wins his 500th game as a college basketball head coach.
A display of a championship caliber team, of how you go into a hostile environment, undermanned, but staying true to who you are as a team, giving up size, but not giving up a lot of opportunities. Only 6 turnovers. That means you're not taking chances. You're playing team basketball. You're not trying to go one-on-one. And for Xavier, the disappointment is not the loss, it's how they lost the game, Gus.
All right, let's go to Shannon Spake.
Congratulations, Coach, 500 wins. I know you're going to deflect. You're going to want to talk about all the people that got you to this, so I'm going to let you thank them and tell me what this means to you.
It's nice. It means much more to me that my wife Patty and I can be at Villanova. It's a great place to coach. I guarantee you the next guy that coaches at Villanova, he'll win 500. It's just you get great kids, as you saw today, great support from everyone there. It's more of a pleasure to come in and be the coach of Villanova every day.
So based on the amount of times I saw you throw your arms up in the air in this second half, I'm guessing that the 500 win is not going to be the topic of conversation in the locker room. What was the most frustrating part of the second?
We couldn't rebound. I mean, you know, rebound's not just size. You know, there's a lot of technique to it, and there's a lot of heart. And Xavier's always great at that. They're a great rebounding team. I think they're top in our conference. We just did not rebound the ball, but we played great defense. We executed, so I'll take that for right now, but we got to get better on the boards.
So how do you balance the win and allowing your guys to celebrate a double-digit win, and then with what they didn't do here today?
But we're honest. We're always honest with them, so they know they played well, you know, and they want to get better. You know, we played DePaul Monday night, so we're going to Chicago tonight, and then we'll try to get better on our day off. They actually enjoy that. That's why it's great to coach these guys.
Congratulations on 500, Coach.
Thanks a lot.
Back to you, Gus.
All right, thank you very much, Shannon. Jalen Brunson, 17 points, 7 assists. Dante DiVincenzo, the big ragu, had 17. Jenkins found his jumper today. He had 12. And Josh Hart, a complete game, 11. Only 6 turnovers for the national champions on the road. 73-57 the final inside the Big East, coming up right after this.